Hello, hello. It is Amber. I started today with a 5-minute countdown, 5 minutes before the hour, because I think maybe I managed to figure out how to get this to run into the Facebook group. Maybe. I don't know. If you are watching, please say hello. Give me a thumbs up or a like on Facebook or YouTube uh, so that I know that it's working. I am going to dive in to this. So let me share my screen because look, I wasn't smart enough to do that in advance. So where am I? What window are we sharing? This one. All right, here we go. So I'm up. I always go back and forth. What's better? Oh, well, definitely not that. Nah, we're gonna go back to bigger view. There we go. All right, so I am back on the home page. I had this goal last week that I was going to get the homepage of WP Product Talk to 100%. I was moving quickly, but I didn't quite get everything to 100% in Accessibility Checker. So let's scroll down and take a look and see what is left. And in our Accessibility Checker meta box, we have 88% pass tests, 2 errors, 0 contrast errors. We fixed that. You'll remember that started at 12. And we have 12 warnings, and nothing has been ignored yet because we haven't found an instance where we needed to do that. So, although actually there might have been one, but I didn't actually ignore it. So the problems that we still have left is the iframe missing title, which I had skipped. That's an error. It's related to our chat. And, it would have been smart for me to go figure out where that's being added before this, but I didn't. So we are going to go look for that in just a minute, but I still want to work through the other problems on this page since that's not edited here. There's a couple of items with ARIA hidden. So I think this is probably a good place for us to start. And then we've got 2 instances where something is flagging as a possible heading, which these are new, and we'll talk about those. An image with empty alternative text. This is a photo of Zach that I swear I added alt text to last time, but we'll take a look at it. And the GIF, which 2 weeks ago I had a conversation with Matt about, and we are going to do something about that today. I know I did say that I wanted to play around with alt text generators, but I spent some time looking at it before this, and I felt like I wanted to take a little bit more time to prep so that is the most useful alt text stream. So I am not going to do that today. I'm so sorry if you're looking forward to that. I am going to do it in 2 weeks. Next week, there will not be a live stream because we're going to have WordPress accessibility meetup, but the second Thursday of February, I will be back with a live stream, and that is all we are going to do. We're going to play with all the alt text generators and decide if we think there's one that is good enough to use on this website or whether we need to write alt text manually. So sorry about that if you were too excited, but we will definitely do it next time. All right, so let's go back up and let's look at this ARIA hidden. What ARIA hidden means is that it flags whenever there's this attribute added into the code, ARIA-hidden equals true. And this is a warning because there are instances where adding this attribute is the right thing to do. When you set ARIA hidden equals true on an element, that is basically telling a screen reader, hey, you should ignore this item. Do not announce it or anything that is contained inside of it. If it's on like a parent container, like a div, for example, it would ignore anything that is inside that div. And there are instances when this is the right thing to do. There are also instances when it's not the right thing to do. And the software, any automated testing tool can tell that you're using ARIA hidden, but it takes a human to assess them. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through these real quick and decide, is this a problem? Is this something we need to fix? Or is it something that is okay the way it is, and we can then ignore it, mark it as an ignore in Accessibility Checker so that it doesn't show up in our reports. So I'm going to click view on page for this first one. I can almost tell you, I'm pretty sure I know where this is. It says expand as the title and it's an arrow pointing down. It's probably in our navigation menu for our episodes drop down. And yep, there it is, opened on the front end. I got a nice pink box around it. So the question is it correct that that is hidden? Ooh, that was a giant inspector. So I inspected it and open that element in my dev tools. And what I'm looking for is there something else that communicates the expand? Now, normally I'd expect to see this visible icon that is hidden inside the buttons. But in this instance, it's actually before the button. If I keep going down through the link episodes, this visible icon that has ARIA hidden on it is actually in the link. And there's a separate button after it, which is positioned behind it, but is visually hidden, that has an ARIA label. So it is correct to have the icon because we don't really need that icon with the title of expand. I could just ignore this on this page, but I don't actually want to do that because I know this is going to show up on every page. So in Accessibility Checker Pro, I'm going to go under Accessibility Checker. I'm going to go open issues. And then I'm going to go to, there's two tabs at the top of the open issues page. And I'm going to click on the tab for fast track. And that is going to show me things that show up on multiple pages. So here's the same cadence icon with the arrow pointing down. And I can click review issues and I'm going to create a global ignore. So this will remove it from all pages and posts, and I don't have to ignore it on any individual page. In fact, I should be able to. This is always fun. I always get nervous that I'm going to do this and it won't work. But if I refresh my page, then I should be able to see that removed from the report and marked as an ignore in Accessibility Checker. So let's scroll down. Scrolling down, down, down. And it says 11 warnings. We can see 7 ARIA hidden now, 1 ignored item. And that one is ignored, but it is ignored globally. So that just removed it from every page that shows up, which is super handy because you don't want to have to hit ignore on these things on every individual page. So basically, I'm going to do that same thing. We've got a play button here. Let's click view on page. It's going to find that play button. Oh, Paula has tuned in. She says she is looking forward to the alt text generator check. And she says, I might know where it's going, but would like to see the experiment. So yes, tune in for that in 2 weeks. And also here, it looks like John has said hello. Hello, John. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Anyone else, feel free to say hello in the chat or share any comments or questions. So it looks like this play button is an SVG that's on the start listening. So yeah, this is definitely decorative. It's not something that we need announced to a screen reader. I don't even really need to inspect it, but if I wanted to, I could say, oh, yep, look, it's inside the link. There's other text inside the link, start listening. And so I know right there that this can definitely be ignored. I like to put comments on these. You don't have to. I'm going to write decorative image. I'm going to copy this so I don't have to type it every time. So I've ignored that. Let's see. The next one is the RSS icon. Let's take a look at where that RSS icon is showing up. Again, it's on a button next to text. It's on a button. It's probably a link to the RSS feed. So because, see, if there was not text next to it, then I would probably investigate it by inspecting it to see, oh, is there an ARIA label here? Or is there screen reader text that I just can't visually see? And as long as that were there, then it'd be fine. But in this instance, there's visual text on there. So I know that that can be hidden. So I'm going to do the same thing. Decorative image, ignore this warning. Then we're going to look at these little people here. We'll view this one on the page. And again, we've got, this one is not linked. So it's not functional in any way. It is purely just an icon that is decorating this H2, some of our amazing guests and hosts. And yeah, again, it's decorative. It's not something that we want announced to a screen reader like icon of people. So we're going to ignore this one. Next on the page, look at this. I'm opening tons and tons of tabs. So our next one is the microphone. This shows up. This is sort of an interesting thing. We're only going to see this flag one time if the code is the same, but it actually, this microphone shows up to the left of every episode in these decorative text or the headings that we have there. So I'm going to ignore this again because it's the same situation. This is a decorative image. It's correctly hidden. It's possible when I save the page, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll pop up again because it should have the exact same code. But if there's a slight modification, then we might see it show up again. But we've got a speech bubble. Where's that? Again, decorative speech bubble. I don't even need to inspect it because I know it's not functional. It doesn't link anywhere or button, so I don't have to worry about if there's alternative text for that. We've got a YouTube play button. This one I think is functional. Let's go down. All right, so yeah, subscribe on YouTube, and this whole thing is linked. So this is where this gets interesting. Let's take a look at this real quick, just on the front end. So the structure of this element is, it is a heading 2 that is linked, and inside the heading 2, there's the text subscribe on, and there is this SVG for the YouTube thing. So this actually is an accessibility problem, and this is not one that I would want to ignore with the way it is. And the reason why is because in this instance, this SVG here, it's communicating something really important, which is subscribe on YouTube. And what someone else is going to hear, a screen reader user, is just going to hear link, heading level 2, subscribe on. I also question, I think I left this as a heading. Maybe it's slightly a heading for this. We go live every Wednesday at noon. Is this also linked? This is also linked over to the page. I want to play around with this block a little bit because there's 2 links here, one of which that doesn't communicate the YouTube, and one that says we go live every Wednesday at noon, which also doesn't communicate the purpose of the link. So I don't think that text should be linked. But I think what Matt was trying to achieve here, and we talked about this when we were talking about this animated GIF, was he also had that linked, and he had wanted to link the entire card. So that's what I want to kind of play around with right now and see if I'm able to link that entire card. So we're not going to ignore that. But let's just assess this little guy here. It looks like a clipboard. And I saw this in Fast Track, so I think it's somewhere global. Oh, it says the element is not found on the page. Where could that guy be? All right, I'm gonna have to look for him in a minute. I thought he'd be an easy assessment. So we'll circle back to him, and we're gonna go up here and we're gonna look at this block. And this is always fun because I don't build websites professionally with Cadence. So sometimes I get people tuning in here who use Cadence professionally, and they are like, oh man, this is so much easier. All right, so this is again a global block. So we're going to click edit the reusable block. Let's use the right WordPress terminology. Reusable block, I think. Edit original. All right, so here's where I am. So let's see. This is a row layout, and there's 2 columns. The left column has this subscribe on text. It's a heading 2. the text that's also linked that goes there. So what I sort of want to figure out, and I don't know if this is possible. Oh, look. Okay, the row layout has an overlay link section. Please note, if a link is added, nothing else inside of the section will be selectable. That seems fine because I think what is actually wanted is that this entire thing should be linked. So I'm gonna let's just experiment with that real quick. I'm gonna copy the link address off this. We're gonna link the entire section. And then I'm guessing that means we want to remove the link from this subscribe on. I got to figure out where that's being added on this heading because I don't see a. Oh, there we go. Link settings. Nope, don't click it. Edit. X. Ooh, I wonder how accessible those are. Subscribe on. And then this is where we're going to fix that there's no context for this YouTube thing. I think it's fine to leave the icon hidden. So we could try to get around this, like making it not ARIA hidden, but I suspect that with the way this is inserted in, and I don't totally know, I'd have to dig around, that might be challenging. Cadence might just say by default, all these icons, if they're like font, some icons or something are hidden. So the easier fix is let's let the icon be hidden. And then I'm going to type YouTube in here. I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going to go to my more settings and I'm going to say screen reader only on YouTube. Now, if I click away, it's gone. Visually, it's not there, but the sentence is fixed. Subscribe on YouTube. We're going to go down to this little guy here and also remove the link from him. Go to the general tab on the block because this is a Cadence text advanced block. I need to click edit on the text link and then remove. And we already removed the link from this GIF, but we have added one to the entire card now. I'm going to save this. And this is the fun of doing this live. You can go look at the WP Product Talk homepage right now and see how it turns out, just like I'm doing. I'm going to close out my accessibility checker for a minute here and do a refresh. Hopefully that saved. Did it save? Let's see. Let's go down here and see. It doesn't look like it's. I wonder if I have to go back and also save the home page. All right. Just for fun, I'll double click that. I've got a weird. This is the block editor weirdness. Let me tell you, negative margins on this element, and it covers whatever this notice is. So a little bit hilarious, but let's see. We're going to go over to, how do I go back? Back up here to go back to the home page. Oh, that's there's an autosave more recent, the version below. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if that worked. Let's save the home page. Waiting. This is the moment where you're like, okay, block editor, move a little faster. There we go. All right, let's view it. Okay, so it's not, when I hover over it, it's not changing my mouse. It's not doing anything. So I don't think that adding that overlay link worked, but I don't know why. Let's see. All right, let's go back to edit the original and take a look at that again. Oh, wait, it didn't save it. I wonder if I didn't save that in. All right. Do I need to hit return? No. What do I need to do to save that link entire section? Submit. Look at that. I always love when I do dumb things in the block editor, you guys, while I'm live streaming. It makes me think sometimes I'm like, am I dumb or am I just like, maybe the UI should be enhanced a little bit there. There was a button with an arrow icon that submitted or saved it. I couldn't hit return in the field. So, okay, now we've saved. Now let's go refresh the home page. And I can hover. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of style adjustments on here, but we have gotten a link on the entire card now, which is, I think, what Matt really wanted in the first place. So I want to inspect this just a tiny bit and see how this is coming out. It's going to flag for us an empty link. I could almost guarantee you. Do you see this guy here? So this is an issue. It doesn't have text. All right. I think I'm going to invite Ben on and I'm going to ask him, how would we fix this? But I'm tempted. Sometimes I like to play around and I'm like, I wonder if I could use ChatGPT to generate text from the text in the body, but it visually put a link there, but it's not actually wrapping it card style. So I don't think I can use this part of Cadence because unless there's a way, is there a way to add like an ARIA label? That would be cool. Let's see, under advanced, I've got structure settings, sticky settings, visibility settings, block defaults. So far, nothing. Custom CSS, animate on scroll, conditional display, advanced. HTML, yeah. I think that these are just styles. So I could set hover styles if I wanted to, say, okay, when someone hovers over this, we're going to change it to a different color. That's like our extra way of showing people this is interactive, maybe, as far as a card. The other thing that's a little weird is there's not like an arrow or an underline or anything. So it visually, until someone goes over it, they might not actually even know that it's a link. Also, let's go back. I'm kind of curious about what happens if I tab. Okay, so if I tab, it does receive focus around the whole thing. So that's good. Wait, where did I go? But now I can't. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I was hovering. If the mouse is there, it won't. Okay, so it receives focus the way we want. I really want to figure out how to fix that empty link. How would I fix that empty link? If anyone has used Cadence and you have any thoughts about a good way to fix that empty link, if I'm missing something, right now, I do not think that there's any way to fix that empty link. And maybe that's why Matt didn't set it that way, because he knew that it would do that. But really, I think this is what I want, right? Sorry, I'm flashing that probably way more rapidly than I should be. I want that interaction. I want it card style, but I want it to wrap the text. And I'm not sure. Let me think about this for a second. I'm going to go back. I'm going to look. All right. Well, I'm going back to, I'm an average user. I can't do it. There's no way to make this accessible with that setting in the block editor. So I am going to go back and undo what I did. I'm going to remove this link and not link the entire section. I am also going to remove actually the hover effect might be okay. What I'm going to do for now, because I don't want redundant links, I'm going to highlight the whole subscribe on YouTube. I also don't I really debate if this needs to be a heading, but for now I'm going to leave it. I'm going to add the link on this entire thing. And oh, look, that gave us a little hover problem. Let's see what we need to do about that. I also think it needs, I kind of feel like it might need a indicator, because I don't know that this icon is really a great indicator that it's a link, because it's a logo. It's not actually like an arrow or a subscribe button or anything. This is where our icon is being added. So I go back and forth on whether this should have an underline, but for sure, what we don't want is there a way to adjust the color on hover? Nope. All right. But there is, oh, no. It's interesting. I thought I saw additional CSS, but it doesn't look like there's one on this field. There's only one on the container, which might be useful. Custom CSS. So what if we said selector? Oh, we got to know what order this is in. I'm going to save this again. Go back to the front end. Hey, there's Matt. And Dave's here too. Matt says hello. And Dave said hello. Hello, everybody. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to refresh now that I've removed that link. I am kind of a little sad about that link. I definitely want that link there. So I'm gonna reach out to the Cadence folks and see if there's a good solution, or I'm gonna play around with JavaScript. But for now, we just have the link on this guy, and we need to target this to not turn purple on hover, because that causes a contrast failure. So it's going to be our selector H2A is the order that it's in. And let's go back here. I'm going to put this in the parent, and we'll see if it works. H2A colon hover. And we're going to leave the color as white. And we're going to add text decoration underline instead. Decoration. I have never used this custom CSS in Cadence. It's kind of cool. So we're going to see how it works. Look at that. Perfect. But I think since this whole thing isn't clickable, I need to remove that hover style that I put on it. I don't actually think that, like, that made sense when it was all clickable like a card. But yeah. So we're just going to have this guy. All right, we're going to save that. Saving. Oh, Matt tells me the general tab on the advanced text block has hover settings. Maybe I missed that. Let's go back and look. So maybe I didn't have to write CSS for that. So it just wasn't under. I don't know. I don't see hover settings. It's also weird because it's like hover on a link. Maybe it's just me, but I didn't see that. Oh, look at this. Link color. I could have totally done that. There was the white with the color. I think the thing that I probably couldn't, and I could even do underline on hover. All right, let's go back to my parent and remove the CSS that I didn't need to write. Advanced. Although it was kind of fun to, where am I? Where did I write that CSS? I thought I wrote it on that. Maybe I wrote it on this. On the section? No. Well, I don't even actually know where it went. Don't know. Total mystery. But I've got this set up now that I figured it out under, oh, not there. You guys are watching me do this. You're probably thinking, why did I do one of those speed builds? Because I clearly am not an expert at the block editor, but it's super fun to figure out. So I've got color, I've got underline on hover. Although it doesn't look like it looks like it's just giving it an underline. So I'm not sure about that. Let's look at it on the front end. There we go. It's got what we want. So that's good. All right, we should go back to the home page. So we fixed the issue with this icon. And this is an interesting one. I did see in the icon settings as I was digging around in blocks, I could have added a label to that, but I kind of like the screen reader text a little better because it's guaranteed wrapped in the link and all of that, and not afterwards, because the link would have been after. So now that we know that's fixed, we can go ahead and ignore this one as well. My typing catches up. We'll see. There we go. Ignore this warning. So here's an interesting thing. When we rescan the page, that little clipboard guy that used to be there isn't actually here anymore. So that might have been stored from a different time. All right, so we've solved all of our ARIA hidden. We've got an image of Zach without alternative text. Where is that? I swear I gave him alternative text last time. Let's check. Did I not save it? I think I remember these guys were hard for me to click on last time. So I'm going to go this way into the section, into this row, section, image advanced. Nope, I forgot Zach's alternative text, or I didn't save it. Where is he? I'm looking to the side because he gave it to me before. All right, here we go. Zach is a white male in his 40s with male pattern baldness, partially addressed by having close cropped hair. Using clipper setting number 2, he's wearing nearly round glasses. He is smiling. So that's Zach. Let's make sure I hit save this time, because we wouldn't want a screen reader to come up here and read about Katie, Matt, and me and totally ignore Zach. Zach is a very important part of the team. So we need to describe him for people as well. So we've got that. And then I'm going to go back down and see what's left on this home page. All right, our animated GIF and our possible headings. Now, these possible headings showed up when I corrected some of the other headings. So I'm going to just ignore them because I actually know that, yeah, these aren't headings. These are just large text. So I'm going to put a comment in here. Not a heading, just large text. So this is another one that is a warning in Accessibility Checker. It flags based on the number of characters and the fonts or font size or weight that is applied to something. So if it's quite short and it is styled very large, then we'll say, hey, did you mean to use a paragraph tag? Maybe this should be a heading. Again, it's something that requires a human to assess it. You know what it's supposed to be or not. In this instance, I know that it's fine. It's the way it should be. So I'm just going to ignore them to remove them from the report. So we're making some progress here. Now we have that animated GIF and the iframes missing title. Either one of these could be a rabbit hole. I think I want to do the image animated GIF first because I know what I need to do to fix it. What I am going to do, and let me close out some of these tabs, is I am going to activate a plugin that is available on our GitHub. Always test. I say this before I do this on a production website. Always test on staging. This website is one we haven't, this plugin is one we haven't worked on for a while. It's kind of a proof of concept. It's something we're still working on, or we'll circle back to include this functionality in Accessibility Checker. But if you want to take a look at this on GitHub, I just put a link in the YouTube chat and you can do that there. So let me go back to plugins. What this plugin does is it's going to add a pause button, or it should add a pause button to the GIF that we have at the bottom. So if somebody wants to stop it because for some reason it's disruptive to them, then there'll be a pause button and it will replace it with a JPEG image. I've already made the JPEG image. There's some instructions on the plugin that explain where it needs to go. So currently you have to upload a JPEG with the same file name in your media library. We actually needed to FTP it up somewhere. That part I did test earlier. So I'm going to activate this. And again, we're doing this all live. So if you hit refresh, you should be able to see this and see what happened just like I can. So now I'm going to refresh the home page. And I'm hoping, okay, so I do have a button. What I'm missing right now, and this might just be a styling thing, I'm going to have to dig into this, is any sort of icon on this button. If I click the button, now I have a JPEG and it has stopped. If I click the button again, it will start playing again. Now I maybe want to position this like over the corner of it. So we'll maybe do some CSS fiddling, but first I want to figure out why our button doesn't have anything visually. It does have an ARIA label of pause or an ARIA label of play. But what we don't have is font awesome icons. I will say I kind of figured out that it did not have this for about 5 seconds before going live. So I'm going to have to figure out, why is this not loading? And I do welcome comments. If anyone is looking at this live and you have thoughts about why it's not loading. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go look at my console and see, are we blocking? Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff that might be related to browsers. So I don't know what these are, but they're not font awesome. It is entirely possible that our website doesn't load font awesome at all, and the plugin is inspecting that. So now I have to kind of try and figure out what's the best way to fix this. I kind of feel like I might want to just do it. I'm debating. No, we can't add it with CSS. But we can't. Part of me wants to go in and edit this plugin, but I don't actually think I can edit the plugin editor. So let's see. Let me see if I can add font awesome via a code snippet. Let me see. I'm going to see if I'm Googling on a different browser, because I'm going to see if I can find a quick code snippet. To enqueue font awesome in WordPress. Oh, let's just try. I gotta remember where that is. Tools, no. Plugins, snippets. I can never spell that word. Yeah. InQ font. Awesome. You guys all totally copy and paste things off of Stack Overflow, right? That's very safe to do on a live website. Function. This is a function name. Let's just prefix this. I'll put Amber so everyone knows who did this silliness. Just in case someone else copied and pasted off there. WP InQ style. Use this version of Font Awesome, which might be really ancient considering the Stack Overflow thing. Add action WP InQ scripts. Let's find out. Williams joined us. He can tell me if this is a good way to do it. Save changes and activate. All right. Did that do anything to fix my button? Oh, it did something, but I'm getting a square. Entirely possible that I'm not loading the right version of Font Awesome. What do we think? Why would it be a square? It's hard too when you're on a live website because there's probably a lot of optimization stuff. And part of me is wondering, you know what I didn't think about? There's probably a Font Awesome plugin, but I don't really know if I want to load a Font Awesome plugin. Let's see. What version is it? William says he's going to reserve his judgment on if what I'm doing is a good way or not until he sees if it works. Well, it partially works. It's loading something now. It's loading a square. You know what I debated doing was just using CSS to create this visual icon since the Font Awesome isn't loading for some reason. All right, hold on. Just for time, I'm a little curious. What Font Awesome plugins exist here? Oh, Matt suggested we could InQ dash icons on the front end, and then I could add it with a dash icon, which is also kind of an interesting idea. Are dash icons InQ'd on the I'm also totally willing, by the way, if there's a developer here who wants me to just give them a Restream link, you are welcome to crash my party. I think dash icons are InQ'd on the front end by default, unless they're turned off. But yeah, you give me a comment and I'll just send you a nice little join the Restream. Let's see. WordPress dash icons. Here, I'll do this in a window where you guys can see dash icons. Oh, look at this. You know what else is really safe? Can I copy text? I can put user in a timeout on YouTube. I don't actually know if I can copy and paste out of the Restream, Matt. But you could Slack it to me. Matt gave me the function here, but I don't have an option to copy these. So unfortunately, I would have to type this. I guess I could type it. I'm a really slow typer. I don't know if you guys want to watch me type that. Let's find the play. Also, okay, we do have a play and a pause button. Let's try something else. We're not going to do font awesome. We're going to try dash icons. Sure. Oh, wait. Actually, let me leave this one, but I'm going to deactivate it. I'm going to refresh real quick. Oh, that just gave me a new one. All right. In queue, dash icons. Let's see. Trying to figure out if I can copy and paste that out of the YouTube chat, but I can't. So lame. Here we go. Stack Overflow to the rescue. What do we think about this WW prefix? Probably fine. There might not be anything else. WPPT. There might be something else. 2-letter prefixes are not super good anymore. WP. Oh, I put too many P's in there. WP product talk. We'll give it that as a prefix. Save changes and activate. Let's go deactivate that other one just so it doesn't mess us up. Snippets. Where's my queue? Where is it? It's not alphabetical. Oh, functions. Where'd it go? Oh, it's down at the bottom. Oh, I could have toggled it off. Look at that. In queue font. Awesome. Turn you off. All right. Dash icons. Play button. I have to remember how to do this with CSS. It's been a while. No. Copy CSS. All right, so we're going to go back to the front, hit refresh. Let me check this. Inspect. So what's funny about this is a button that works great for blind people right now. It doesn't work quite as well. Oh, you know what else I'll have to do on this? I'll have to target it based on the ARIA level. The ARIA label, because we don't have different classes based on if it's a pause or a play button. But let me just see something right now. No, I thought I copied that. Copy CSS. Back to the front. Well, let's just stick it in here for a second. Content. No. I'm about to say I hit a wall. This is where sometimes I think being a power user gets frustrating. I'm like, okay, I know I could do this. It would take me a while. But I'm like, how long do I want to bang my head against a wall on this one fix and this one problem while I'm live streaming? I don't know. It gets hard, right? I feel like maybe I need to start inviting guest developers on to help me. That might be kind of fun in advance, not just surprise during the middle of a live stream. But let's see. So I feel like I have to play with this. I'm going to have to figure out why I can't get the... Wait, hold on. I wonder if our background color is interfering a little bit here too. Let's just make it lighter for a second. Nope, not the background color. I got to figure out how to get the dash icon or an icon to load here. Because it's not working, I don't want to leave a broken... I don't want to leave a broken button on the front of the website right now. So I am going to deactivate this just for now. But I'm going to come back and try and figure out why is my icon not loading. Oops, I turned off the wrong one. Talking and pushing deactivate on plugins. at the same time. Not recommended. So I'm going to circle back to that. I'm probably going to post a video that explains what the problem was separately, because I don't feel like making you all watch me struggle with that right now. So where we're left then is, I can't ignore this because I did not resolve this right now, but I do want to come back to these iframes and I want to add titles to them. This is our chat. So I think that the ChatGPT live chat thing is here. So I'm going to look through my code snippets and see if I can figure out what is adding that. Transcribe, get current YouTube views, ordering cadence grid, load chatbot. All right, let's look at this guy. Here we go. Can I find, here's the iframe. See, this will be a nice, easy fix to end on. So whenever you have an iframe, you need to add a title. And what is the difference between them? Is this the button iframe? And this one is the actual chat. That's what I think. Yeah, because the ID says chatbot button iframe and the other one says chatbot iframe. So we're going to give this a title for equals load chatbot button. I'm assuming it inserts a button in there. I haven't even keyboard tested this yet, so we'll see. And then the second iframe, title equals chatbot, is probably fine. I don't know if that's supposed to be a 2 words or 1 word. I think I'm going to make it 2 words because it might sound better on a screen reader. All right, we will save changes on this. Now that I've added titles to those iframe, it says snippet updated. Let's go to the home page and I'm going to refresh the home page. That should trigger it to rescan when it reloads. And hopefully I'm going to see my iframe missing title errors went away. Oh, awesome. William said he would join next time. So next time, I did promise everyone that we're going to play around with alt text, but maybe William and I can record a separate little video about how to fix that. And William, I will definitely take you up on joining some of these live streams to do some dev on the fly for me. Let's see if that caused it to rescan. It did not. Hold on. Save. I also am wondering if beyond editing this snippet, if I need to clear cache anywhere, but let's just look at it on the front real quick. So this is the iframe that loads the title. Maybe if I right click this button, why can't I? Oh, there we go. Why can't I inspect this button? It just says body. There's iframe. Okay. No, it's showing me titles on the front end. There we go. Hitting save, scanned it. It's gone. Look at that. I really, really wanted to get the home page to 100%. I am going to do that today because I really want to be able to ignore that animated GIF and get it to pause. So I'm going to look at my calendar real quick and see if I am running out of time, because if I am not, I'm totally going to turn that plugin back on and I will continue to bang my head against the wall and you all can either laugh at me or maybe I can get someone who can pop in and say, hey, here's how you fix it, Amber. Let's see. Oh, yes, I have a couple of minutes. So I am 100% about to retroubleshoot that because that was my goal. I wanted to end this session with this at 100% and I cannot do it unless there's a way to pause that. So let's go back. We fixed the iframes missing titles, which by the way is going to be on every poster, every page. So I would run another full site scan, which I'll do later. Let's turn this broken button back on. And I am going to go into see if I can figure this out. Let's see. I'm doing the phone a friend. I just pinged William to see if he wanted to come on Restream. We'll see. But part of me is just like, let's see. I'm going to go back and re-look at this. We should get our pause button again. Refresh. All right. So this is my pause button. And let's just open it in Customizer. All right, so I'm pretty sure that I can target this using the ARIA label, which is the first thing. I'm going to go down to the bottom and put in a comment. Fix icons for GIF, pause, play buttons. And so we're going to need to inspect that. So basically the first one, I'm going to do open square brackets. And I should just be able to type aria dash label equals pause with the quotes inside the square brackets to be able to target that. And just to check and see if it does target, I'm going to change the color to something else like blue for 2 seconds. Important. It did not override it. Why did it not override it? Oh, yes, it did. It override it. Okay, so that's how I'm going to target these. I'm going to have one for the ARIA label equals pause and one for the ARIA label equals play. And I got to get my content set up for the dash icon. All right, so we've got pause button, we've got the play button. And in a minute here, we're going to have my phone a friend, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And William is going to pop on here and he's going to help me figure out why I can't get those dash icons to load. So, or the best way to fix the font awesome, since neither one of them want to cooperate with me. kind of wonder with the font awesome and it loading a square if I was loading like a really old version of it or something. But let's see. So let me try copying that again. And we're gonna do this on a before. Oh wait, what am I looking at? Play. We need the pause button. Hey, William. Think you don't have a camera, but do you have a microphone? We'll find out, maybe.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can.
Oh, is that too loud?
So what do you think? You think the best way to fix this is to do with the dash icons? Or you think
if you
the
already
font
have
awesome?
dash icons on the page, can you actually look and confirm in the sources tab in your dev tools to see whether the CSS actually outputs?
Let me open it separately. I also just saw, you guys are so awesome. Like Dave said he sent me a Facebook Messenger. So he says, I sent a Facebook message. So the dash icon did the same thing. I don't know if you just noticed that when I put it in, it turned it into a square, which makes me wonder if there's something else going on that the font awesome. So inspect sources. What are we looking for? To tell if dash icons. I mean, I enqueued it, right?
Yeah, so up in the top left corner of DevTools, there's the page tab. Can you click on that?
Yes.
And checking WP includes CSS.
Yeah, so there's the dash icons.
So dash icons is output. I think let's inspect the element with the square. So you're going to need to set the font family on this.
Oh, that's why. All right. What's the? Is it just dash icons?
I think it is.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome. You might want to position it a little differently, huh?
The same issue with font awesome as well.
It just didn't have the font family set?
Probably.
So that's an interesting question. Like, should I continue with the dash icons since the font icon is already there? What would you do?
If we have font awesome already enqueued, then I would use it.
Yeah, hold on. I'll show you. All right. I'm not going to publish that. I'm going to go somewhere else for a second. I'll go back to snippets. I feel like since the font awesome icon is already there in the HTML, it's kind of weird to just ignore it, right? I'm going to turn this on for a second. Now reload this page. So that's the square from the font awesome. Because I haven't saved the other one that we just did. So you think that's just a font family issue then?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to put this somewhere for later, just in case. But I'm going to take it out. We'll just stick it in Sublime over here. Okay. I'm going to reload this page with the customizer. And we should get our little square for font awesome. This is what happens, I guess, when you download old plugins off GitHub, huh? Even when they're your own.
Yep. It's worse when it's your own.
Well, you know what I think about this is we built this for someone's website, and so we probably didn't run into this issue because their theme probably loaded all the Font Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, where is it? Down here. All right, there we go. So would you just do it on the class? Like, how would you load the Font Awesome font family?
I mean, it should be output on fa-solid. It should be output on that class by default. So.
Okay. fa-solid font family font-awesome. Is that what it is? Is it? I'm gonna have to Google this. Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is off the top of.
Maybe it is all one word. Solid free. I'm landing on it's probably easier to go back to the dash icons.
Yeah, let's do that for now as the quicker solve, and we can cycle back on this. It looks like Font Awesome might already be on this website, but namespaced. So I'll take a look after we wrap up here.
All right. I'm going to go turn this back off because that will stop it from outputting. And I need to get the play button content code 522. And then let's see. Oh, this is going to look a little weird. I'm going to publish this. That square should have gone away when I de-enqueued Font Awesome. But let's see. Refresh. Mark Westgard is here. Hey, Mark. He said he jumped in to find Michelle laughing hard. She is always laughing, which is amazing. Pause. Oh, look. But why did my play button not output? Is that how it's the RA label like I think it is? RA label play. Hold on, I'm going to refresh this so it doesn't have the thing. What do you think about why the play button isn't there?
I see in the customizer. So it should be.
Look! She's here. There's Michelle. She said OMG, ha ha ha. Hey, Michelle. All right. Pause. No play. But I don't know why. Let's see. Just to be weird, I'm double checking this because I just edited it. I didn't actually copy and paste it. But yeah, that should be it, right? F522. Oh, wait. No. No missing semicolon. I know why. I don't have before on this. There we go. Solved.
No, just a bit of positioning to set
yeah. That. What would you say? Down a little bit? Margin top? Is that what you would use?
I would first try and increase the size. The font size to like
font
20.
Size? Also, wait, we got to reactivate this so we can see the one I'm working on. What do we think it is? I guess if I inspected it, I could see what it is. Why would you go for that? Just to make it bigger instead, so it fills the space more?
Yes, and font awesome is smaller than most other fonts by default, so I always increase it a little bit.
Oh yeah, and then I don't really need to position it differently. What do you think? Like that? Is that too big?
That looks good to my eyes.
26? All right, we're going to go with 26 pixels. I guess you're right. It's nicer to have larger item in there. Publish that. Refresh on the front end. Pause. You know what else I kind of want to do? I think we should position it over the GIF instead of after the GIF.
Oh, that's going to be rough to do live.
You think so?
Yeah, doing that requires absolute position and wrapper classes.
Well, I feel like it's possible. You don't think so?
Well, we do already have a wrapper.
You don't think I could just negative margin it up?
Give it a try and see. I think that image changes size.
Yeah, it didn't go up. Why did it not go up? Because it's overwritten by something. Everyone loves when you put important on things, right? Do I get in trouble for doing that? And then it needs a Z index. You guys, I'm not a developer.
I'll come back and fix this later.
Or Matt Cromwell will. He's watching. He's probably cringing. Oh, the Z index didn't work. Why not? Oh, that also needs important. This is how, I'm telling you, this is how average WordPress users interact with their website. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, this is why the PR is to do it instead.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And by us, you don't mean Amber.
Well, you can make the cards.
Yes. It didn't work. I thought it would pull it forward. It needs an even bigger Z index, or it's just not going to work. Nope.
It isn't going to work because they're in different stacking contexts. You need to add position relative to the wrapper.
All right. Well, do you have a quick code snippet, you think, for moving it up?
Yes.
Oh, Dave said he thinks position relative. Hold on. Position relative. Let's see. Look at that. Dave wins a prize. It needs to have position relative. Let's go for 80 pixels. That's too high. 60 pixels. And we need a tiny bit of margin on the left. Nope, that didn't get it. I have to hit return on that, I guess. I thought I could use my arrow keys and it would select it. 5 pixels. And, you know, some important. Now the question is it seems like it works. And there's no text there that it's covering.
That's
all right. On the front end, moment of truth. and we're gonna tab. It has a focus indicator. Spacebar pauses. Spacebar starts. Yay. Okay. It took a lot of extra work. I had to phone a friend. Thank you, William.
Yeah, no
for
worries.
coming in. But it did work. I'm gonna pop you off and close this out. I appreciate everyone. This was a true group effort, you guys. Got lots and lots of friends in the chat helping out with this. And but it's a plugin that I think we're going to modify and put this functionality in Accessibility Checker so that you don't have to do all the extra work of creating the image with the right name and all of that kind of stuff. It'll automatically generate for you. But this is what you can do to make an animated GIF accessible. So now I can go back and do what I wanted to do, which is I can say that the image can be paused on my image animated GIF warning and ignore it. And ta-da, I have, oh, maybe process, save my page. It's gonna do it. I know it's going to. It's going to tell me, ta-da, you have a 100% score on the homepage. Now, does this mean this homepage is 100% perfectly accessible? No, because you know what I haven't done yet is I haven't listened to it with a screen reader. But we have fixed a lot of things and made some big progress, which is so good. I'm very happy about that. It took me 2 hours and 18 minutes to do the homepage and to fix a lot of issues there, including some of which were global. If you remember, we had some issues with the chatbot. There were also some headings in the footer and some other stuff that were in the footer that were empty links that have been resolved. So major improvement on the whole website, not just the homepage, in 2 hours and 18 minutes, which is awesome. So I am going to close out and say bye. Thank you to everyone who joined me in the chat and provided all kinds of help and joined the restream on surprise. I actually do really love this idea. So if you would be interested in coming on planned, not surprise, I think it'd be fun to have guest developers join me and help me fix some of the things that are more challenging for me. So I'm going to reach out to a few people and follow up on that. If you have not already, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, write a comment, share it. That helps me out. And don't forget, no live stream next week because we'll be doing Meetup. And the week after that, we are going to test a bunch of AI alt text generators and decide if any of them are worth their salt. Thanks so much, and I'll see you then.